In this documentary, we will explore the history of the sport that Americans call soccer and why it is not popular here in America. Even though it is not very popular here in the United States, we still have more official soccer players than any other country with 18 million, but that is not the majority of the country. While we are over here playing our other sports, the Europeans are loving their football. In 2017, French soccer club PSG paid around $225 million US plus bonuses for one player. And even during World War I on Christmas Eve, English and German troops called ceasefire to play a game of soccer. So here we are going to explore why we as Americans don't like soccer as much as our European and South American counterparts. Before we do anything else, we're going to go over a brief history of soccer. There was early evidence of a game like soccer being played in 2nd and 3rd century China. It was called Cuju. It was first written about in the Zhanguo scripts, and in the Han Dynasty there's evidence of people making leather goals and nets. But the growth of modern soccer started in England. In medieval times, there was a game like soccer that allowed kicking and punching. In 1365, King Edward III banned the game because of the growing incidence of violence and the military indulgence in the sport. And in 1423, King James I of Scotland also proclaimed in Parliament, "No man shall play football." But in 1815, colleges made separate rules that now separate rugby and soccer. In most other countries, kids get started early in soccer. So here we're going to find out if these Americans played soccer when they were kids. So as a kid, did you play soccer at all?
No, I did not.
No, never. I did not, but I was a cheerleader for soccer at IU.
I did. I played in 1st grade to 5th grade.
When I was like 5 and 6, I think.
I did not.
Yes.
I didn't.
Yes, I've been playing since I was about 4 years old, my entire life.
I did play soccer.
Yes.
I did.
I did not. We didn't have soccer.
Like not at all, you didn't see anything being played
boys,
around your house?
No boys, no girls, no soccer.
So as you guys probably know, soccer is not the most popular sport in America. The amount of schools that have soccer programs are less than the amount of schools that have golf programs. Although the participation is 5th highest for boys, it is 7th in the amount of schools that offer it. So now we're going to find out if these people saw soccer being played a lot around where they lived. And did you see soccer being played like around where you lived or just in general? Like
I always saw them play in the park.
As a kid, no.
Not till I was in high school.
When I was a kid, it was a mildly popular sport, so some of the kids in the neighborhood played it, but it did not have the same popularity as baseball and basketball.
No, it wasn't an option for me. I grew up in a small town.
Alright, and has that like changed like over time or just stayed the same?
It actually hasn't changed over time. There's still a recreational league that plays in the parks today. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. In recent years, the last 20 years at least.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alright, why do you think that is?
It's become more popular. It allows more kids to participate. You don't have to be a big monster or tall to play the game. You only have to be kind of quick and agile.
Yeah, it has. In fact, my high school recently won its state tournament.
Oh.
So, I kind of wish that I had been born later,
Yeah.
I've seen more because I know people that actually play soccer.
As the years progressed, soccer has become way more ubiquitous, so you can see it everywhere now in a way that it wasn't when I was a kid.
The older people that I've interviewed said that they didn't see soccer being played around a lot where they lived at all when they were kids. But they also said that has changed as time has gone on. And the younger people I interviewed further emphasized that point when they said that they've always seen soccer being played around where they lived. So now we're going to figure out if these people liked soccer as a kid or even knew about it. Also, if their attitudes have changed since time has gone on. Like, as a kid, did you know about soccer at all? What were your attitudes towards it? Or
I probably heard of it, but it was never played. I still don't know some of the rules, so it just is beyond me. I'm sure it's not beyond the younger generation.
Yeah.
I liked it. I didn't think I was good enough to keep playing after I was in 8th grade, so I didn't.
Our generation, we didn't play soccer. We played football or basketball. The kids nowadays, I see a lot of kids playing soccer nowadays. I don't know if I have a per se attitude towards it one way or another. I think it's great cardio for kids. It's definitely better than sitting at home playing a bunch of video games.
Soccer.
Oh, okay. So you never really even heard of soccer as a kid?
Nope.
No? Okay.
I've always been afraid of soccer because everyone has to run too much. I've heard goalies, even a goalie will run over 2 miles in a game, and I'm not a runner, so I do have to say all the guys I knew who played soccer were cool. And it was fun to watch. I like how fast the game is. I get so tired of timeouts and play stoppage and stuff that I definitely enjoy soccer.
Yeah. So based off of those interviews, I found that the older generations didn't even know about soccer when they were kids, while the newer generations knew about it but didn't really know what the rules were or how to play. So it's still progression, but at a slow pace. So now we're going to figure out how the popularity of soccer changed in America according to these people. Alright, and how has the popularity of soccer changed since you were little?
Well, I mean, there's definitely more people. First of all, when I was in college, people were starting to get into the fire, which was a thing then. But beyond that, I mean, I know multiple people who follow the Premier League, and that did not exist when I was a kid. Like, I had coworkers who actually followed the Premier League, like that stuff. They were on TV, wasn't around.
A lot. I see like lately, a lot of people play a lot of soccer in places because I want to go play soccer, but they're using it, and it kind of makes me mad.
When my kids were younger, they played soccer, and a lot of people that we knew played soccer. I think one of the things that's made it more popular too is that it's one of the least expensive sports to get into.
Yeah, that's true.
As far as equipment and everything you have to buy to play it.
Not really. Just maintaining, really.
So again, we see the older generation seeing a change in popularity while the younger generations aren't. So now it's time to hit them with a big one and see why they think that America doesn't like soccer as much as other nations. Why do you think America doesn't like soccer as much as other countries?
Personally, I think because it's gonna take time because we're not yet a top country when it comes to soccer. When it comes to basketball, we're the best. When it comes to baseball, we're the best. When it comes to any other sport, in terms of Olympics, the U.S. has the most gold medals. So I think that plays a huge part in the interest of the population here. So we're not necessarily at the top yet in terms of soccer. So I think that's why it hasn't really taken off yet. But it's growing. So I think we have a lot of good talent here, and as that talent moves forward and eventually grows through the ranks, hopefully one day the U.S. becomes a top team in soccer, and the popularity will grow.
That's a hard thing to put your finger on. First of all, I mean, there's choice, between there's a number of different sports that soccer competes with in the United States: baseball and football and hockey and basketball, and then but also I think that when America competes on a global scale and comes up short year after year after year, the fans are like, well, screw it. We don't, we can just root for these other sports.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I feel. A combination of those two things. That they have other choices, and they're just, I don't really see the United States making a lot of headway competitively in the sport.
Well, I think our nation has baseball and football, and they grew up with that, and basketball. I mean, those are American games, and they just love those kind of things. And and it's hard to introduce a fourth sport or fifth
Yeah.
sport like soccer.
Mhm.
But it's coming. It's going to take another 10, 20 years
Yeah.
before it's really like it is in other countries, I'm sure.
I'd say low scoring games, and I think also one huge aspect of international football is the acting and the diving and the
Yeah.
drama and the injuries, and I don't think Americans like that at all. I think even when we watch it together as a family, we're like, oh my god, like what is he doing? I think we hate that, and I think it's the low scores.
Flopping is a very prominent part of European and South American soccer. Flopping is where the players fake a foul/injury in order to get the free kick. Most Americans don't like this because America does not like faking. It was also said that in the United States, people have other choices of sports to follow/play, while in Europe, they don't have those options. Also, because America is so dominant in all the other sports that we have, we just don't follow soccer because we're not that great at it. All these opinions are great. The thing that I thought of was that there's just no room for advertising. There's only halftime, which lasts 15 minutes for advertising and commercials. Because of this, it's not televised as much, and therefore people don't know as much about it. Though these are just some of the reasons why, I'm sure there are many more. But based on most of the evidence, I can conclude that many people think that soccer will become one of the most popular sports in America in the next couple decades. Thank you guys for watching, and have a nice day.